quote from the permanent secretary of Treasury. He recently said that the legitimacy of a government is its ability to provide decent jobs and public services. And what we do see in this country is that when you are in employment, like for 2 weeks, you are considered to be employed. And never do we talk about decent jobs. So I would just really like to ask Commissioner Kagwa what his take is, because what I really see, we are in a situation of well-being economics versus economics of brick and mortar. We see, what Arana has been mentioning to a rise of infrastructure, but the social indicators in this country continue to remain depressingly poor. And you out on the streets or you get into the communities, the social indicators are depressingly poor. So how do we reconcile economic growth with these depressingly poor social indicators? And my last quick comment is also about and Prof talks about this, about legitimacy and legality. What I know is that
Thank you, everybody, joining me. Good afternoon. Hello, everybody, wherever you are. I'm here to talk about employment. Most of Ugandans are being exported for slavery jobs abroad. But if we had job creation, if we had jobs which are decent, paying you well to cover your minimum wage, Ugandans shouldn't be exported abroad for work. They should go abroad on their wish. They should work abroad on their wish. But you know what? There is a saying that says that home is the best. If I could give you the news, briefly, the news. There is a lady called Musemero. She was given 31 billions out of our COVID money to get a vaccine, and that never happened. And she's been probed to the parliament. She hasn't appeared. And now Museveni is threatening whoever is apprehending her, he's going to go for him big time. So message to Museveni, you are not meant to do that. Another message, there were equipments being bought for the railway station, but those equipments which were bought were even older than what we have for now. So our money is being wasted. So fellow Ugandans, when we talk about employment matters a lot, because employment is directly linked to democracy. Employment is directly linked to economic growth. But the first one is directly linked to democracy. That's why dictators, they don't want to create jobs. That's why where you find a country with a dictatorship, there's no economic growth, and there will always be a higher unemployment. So we need to take that one into account as we speak about employment. I'm here because fellow Ugandans, they are being exported. But the picture in Uganda is like we've got one of the youngest population. And we have among that youngest population, it has got 70% of unemployed people, young people. The alarming news I bring to you on 26th of February 2020, the World Bank that borrows us money made a statement that unemployment is gonna get worse in Uganda. These are the people who borrow us money. These are the people who have got all the evidence. But this is the statement they made on 26th of February 2020. Unemployment is going to get worse in Uganda. This is why you see now all the passengers going out. You will see that about 70%, they are people who are looking for green pastures. And the problem we have a government which is distancing itself from job creation. They say they don't want to create jobs. It's not their responsibility. But the picture in Uganda, we have one of the youngest population, And we have among that youngest population, 70% minimum, they are unemployed. World Bank, when I was checking on their facts, for them they say 83% of people younger from working age from 18 to 40 years, 83% they are unemployed. We shall get to those who are employed, but they are not in good jobs. I'm trying to tell you, to give you the whole picture. From 2017, the rate for unemployment has been going up. It was 1.7%. Now, as we stand by 2020, it was 2.24%. That is big. It's not declining. No wonder Matia Kasaja is saying GDP is declining. And I am here to be tried and tested. I have answered Museveni's tweet. Economy cannot grow within few months. Economy cannot go by January 2022. Economy cannot grow if you don't look at the youngest population. The biggest population now is the young people. We have to find a solution for that. But I'm here to tell you that I have good news for you from NUP manifesto, NUP proposal to create jobs, not by words. We are going to create jobs, decent jobs. I'm going to play for you a clip for one of the director of Ministry of Finance in Uganda, when he said he doesn't know what decent jobs is. But then he's ready to create jobs. As I've been building a picture for you. You can see in Uganda, we have investors. They are suppressing the job creation. They are not giving people rights. But as we speak, our constitution, in Article 40A, this is what it says: to economic rights, to provide for the right for persons to work under satisfactory, safe, and healthy conditions. Our constitution stipulates very well that we have right to work. So why are we exporting Ugandans to go out for slavery? We should be exporting agricultural products. We should be exporting products that which can bring revenue, but we should never export for people. This is where we are going. I played a clip when Amin was looking that get rid of certain nationality minority so that Ugandans they should own the job. That is very, very important. When we look at the jobs in Uganda, the sticking point, the indicator that we have is about nepotism. All jobs, they are going to one family. They are going to relatives. They are going to the friends. But do they qualify? No. That means that me, Demi, I'm condemned to work into the informal sector, which I'm going to call unskilled jobs. Whether I have qualifications, I'm gonna be condemned to work into informal sector because I'm not going to be employed if my name is different, if I come from somewhere, if I don't have any connection within the first family. That is nepotism. That is how bad it is. They're holding on the stronghold for Uganda. We have Museveni is the president. We have Janati, Minister of Education. And I said to you about the significance of Minister of Education. It's more relative to create jobs because you keep people in school, you give them, when they're skilled, they come out with the knowledge and then they can do their job very well. As simple as that. But where do we stand in Uganda? I'm trying to build for you the whole picture. In Uganda, there is a year. We had people who came out, 390,000 graduates who graduated in that year. But in Uganda, they had 80,000 jobs. Very little. So imagine what happened to other people. To 300 and the 310,000. What happened to those people? These are statistics that stands out. It's a government responsibility to create jobs. When you create jobs, you don't wake up and say, I'm creating job there, Mhozi, Lanzi, wherever, Janet Minister. No, you have to lay the foundation. This is why yesterday I spoke to you about the Quad A. This is how we are going to create jobs, because we are going to prepare a generation that which is ready to work. So as we stand for now, we have got issues in Uganda. We don't have structured pay. For a start, we don't have a minimum wage. 3 years ago, President Museveni stood up and said he doesn't want to force investors to pay minimum wage because that will force them off to come in Uganda. That is wrong. I said about investors, NUP, if you cannot afford to pay minimum wage, we are not going to allow that one to happen. Issues of employment. We have underage employment. You find somebody 13 years, 15 years, 11 years, is a maid, is babysitting, too young to do work, but he is being there because parents, they cannot afford to pay school fees. This is why education is so important. This is why I'm holding Janet Museveni as one of the culprits why Uganda is going down. Issues in Uganda, there is unpayment as well. People, they don't get paid. Employers hold the upper hand. So that tells you we are lacking employment role. Because if there is employment law, somebody has got to be paid. You have to pay somebody on time as their wages. It's their right. You cannot hold on somebody's pay. You can sack them, you can do what, but you can never hold somebody's pay. But many people, they don't get paid. People working in factories, they don't get paid. Maids, they get beaten up, they get abused, they will not get paid. So that is not going to be allowed under National Unity Platform. We shall have employment law to protect people in Uganda. So where we stand for now. And another indicator to nepotism is about social exclusion. When you create jobs, you have to include everybody. This is why NUP, 5 main points, it tells you economic growth, everybody to share. And that is what it stands for now. When we had Democracy Day by Sweden, they went by our manifesto, NUP, and they went by our legislative agenda. So I can challenge those who come with a red card. They have never talked about employment. They have never talked about creating jobs. They have never talked about social issues. Or they say they want to throw Museveni out. Fair enough, that's fine. But then how are you going to manage the country? We have to get into the habit that we get ourselves familiar to this, and then we can employ, we can create jobs. Because where we stand for now, we need to know jobs. How are we going to create jobs? For me, I'm looking for higher productivity jobs. I'm not looking for people vendors. I can start with the Kampala City Council. I used it to tag Lukwago. Everything I see somewhere. He doesn't reply. Now I give it to him. He's a lawyer, road mayor, 10 years. Nothing is being done. Why don't we revamp Kampala? Why don't we bring bus lanes? Why don't you bring traffic lights? Why don't you bring clean waters? Whatever you bring in, it brings money. It brings money and it makes quality jobs. It's not like this gentleman who said he doesn't know what good decent jobs it is. Actually, they don't know what decent job it is, but we're gonna create meaningful jobs. Now look at it. Let us start with the NUP. NUP, there is so many jobs. At our headquarters, for me, I would create 150 jobs. And I will get these people being paid by decent wages. Because the money will come. The money is there. When you look at our principal, as for now, our principal needs 5 people appointed. He needs a personal assistant, he needs a PR, he needs a speech writer, he needs all these people. When you look at this young man called Katumba, I could appoint him as a PR for our principal because he works in the media, Gerard Katumba. He knows what the media, he knows how to operate, but it cannot be one person. We need to have people that coordinate. He needs to have a presidential aide as well. All this chaotic, all this mess wouldn't be there if he had all these people around him and they're being paid. And when you pay them, they're being accountable for whatever the outcome is. This is why creating a job has become a problem for NRM government. Because when you create job, people, when they work, they become independent. You cannot trust them. And we want to create jobs that we have an employment law that you don't lose your job because you don't agree with your boss, because you don't support a certain political party. We want to have civil servants. So people, I encourage, like NUP, member of parliament, employ people. Employ people, give them money. Let them be your administrator for your social media. Reply to the people. It's so important. You cannot have mailboxes of thousands and you don't reply. No, you have to reply. You have to create jobs for you. You are getting 25 millions. What about using for 5 millions to pay things in your office? You are creating jobs. Myself, I find myself that I am an employer, I'm an employee. I employ people and then I work for other people. I've got jobs, then I've got 2 private jobs that sometimes I work as a private driver. I drive posh people. I don't drive ordinary people. I don't know even how I got to know them. One day they take me to all these good places. So I have that job. Then I have these other jobs that I do marketing. I brought businesses, big one, that maybe people, they don't know that I am the one who did it. There are business in Uganda that I brought myself. I went to Turkey first time as a marketing and I brought the business, and then they supply goods, then the containers supply goods to DRC. For me, I brought this business to send money to Uganda. Before it was taking ages and ages. Now it's so smooth. You take money there, they'll get it straight away. And those people, they really want to pay me. I said, no, I don't need to pay. You paid me for the first time, paid for whatever, 500, that's enough. So we are talking about employment. So when we talk about employment, what sort of employment are we talking about? There are only 3 types of employment. Unskilled jobs, semi-skilled and formal, as simple as that. Unskilled, you don't have skills, you don't have knowledge. Things like you can be a cleaner, you can be a carer. That's at the lowest end. Same skills, you are both, you've got knowledge, you can do this, and then you come. Then formal jobs, these are the white collar jobs that people, they do. But when we create jobs, we are going to create them for the purpose that they fit the people. That the problem when there is a higher unemployment, there is a bad impact on individuals. Some individuals, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to hold themselves like. When they are unemployed, they get misused. They get misdirected. You will find them. Crime can rise from that. Substance misuse can rise from that. And social behaviors like smoking can start from that. And all these sorts of things, the impact on an individual can be a little bit low. It puts people down. You can find like a man who is interested in you. Oh, Demi, I like you. Yeah. Can I take you out? Yes. Blah, blah. Yeah, good. Oh, Demi. Then I say, oh, so. What do you do? They don't want to say, because we want people to work when they are confident, when they are happy to talk about their jobs. But other people, they cannot say, I'm a van driver, I'm a cleaner. They dare not say it. So anyway, work. When you work as a person, it gives you independence. You can speak with independence. Your job is there. Your income is there. And on the society, the impact on the society is enormous, because it's like you have a society with the people who are idle. When we speak about a society, we look at people like Fred Enanga. Enanga is always idle, and then he becomes disorderly. The police in Uganda, the security, they are idle, and then they become disorderly. What do I mean? They are not doing their job, they are after opposition. Disorderly. Like we had our colleagues, comrades, 6 of them in Kasese. They were having a meeting, political meeting, local leaders in Kasese. Then they were taken, they were abducted. Next time we know they have taken them to court, and now they have slapped on treason case on their heads. So that is being idle and disorderly. They are idle, they don't have anything to do. They leave people who are doing criminal corruption, they leave them free, and then they come to be disorderly to all this, which is within the law, that political multi-party, multi-perspective is allowed. So Freddie Nanga is really idle and disorderly. And so the security, they are idle and disorderly. But the impact on society is bad, is very, very bad if there is a high unemployment, because you can see that people, there will be conflict. The society will go, because it will be full of people doing wrong things at the wrong time. What do we learn from developed countries? One of the things is that when they come in power, they talk about reducing unemployment. Whether it's 1,000, a president, a leader, a government must come with an emphasis to reduce unemployment. But in Uganda, what do? We export fellow Ugandans for slavery. It is inconceivable. And why do we export fellow Ugandans for slavery? Where they go, they work for families. Those countries, those families are not well off. They are not better than Wavamuno. They are not better than Chirumira. They are not better than those people like stealing our money. But because they are in the system, that they have got regular, maybe benefits, state benefits, money coming to them from their job, they can be able to pay for a maid from Uganda, and that maid will be able to use that money sensibly to Uganda. So that is how a sensible, decent job it is. As I said to you, I am an employee and I'm an employer. Per month, I have to pay something like 2 million Uganda shillings to my employees, but I am an employer. But how do I manage that? It's because that I have a guaranteed job, permanent. I have a guaranteed income. They pay me on time and they pay me decent, and I know how to manage my money, and then I can be able to employ other people. Other people I do in employment, I said to you that I am a manager. I have an artist that I support out of kindness. I don't do it because anyone like music. So I support him wherever I can. That is voluntary. We have got also the voluntary sector. So the impact on individual is bad. The impact on society is bad. The impact on economic growth is big and big and big. How are you going to have economic growth when people they are unemployed? When the biggest, youngest population is unemployed? How can you do it? You cannot do it. Museveni, you were lying people. Yes, some are exported as spare parts for human. Oh my God, that really Jeffa. Oh dear, that breaks my heart. Spare parts for human organs. You see, because we have got government, we cannot. How can we export for Ugandans as a spare parts? Spare parts. Imagine, this is how bad these people, they don't want to Uganda to develop. They don't want Ugandans I'm telling you, we have to look at this, the impact on the future, the generation, the impact on our society, the impact to develop. Then somebody, a Connie comes, and then he tells us he's going to build a city. He hasn't built one in Senegal. In Senegal, I know one person, I know few people. I know Mane because he plays for Liverpool. He has done a lot for Burumbali, has built in mosque, hospitals, schools, but Akone has never done anything. And then he wants to come to Uganda to do something. Are we for real? Unemployment goes farther and farther. So what does NUP say? NUP, we have got the beautiful, I call it beautiful with a smile, beautiful manifesto. We have got one of the best. Go and listen to these people. When we had a democratic demonstration day by Swedish, they looked at our manifesto is the one they looked at. The 5 key points I've always said to you, we need to remember this. Number 1, people-centered government. Number 2, equal access to service delivery. The education, health, employment, housing, and transportation. And then we have economic growth. You had the video, somebody asking, how are we? And then we have resources, use our resources. And then we have peace, domestic and international. What more can say? So NUP, we had our manifesto launched on 6th of November 2020. And out of that, our president came out candidly, publicly, and he said he wants to create 5 million jobs. And myself, I put myself online. When COVID came in, I put myself that I could have added it to me about 3. I could create 8 million jobs. Yes, COVID happened. It's not a good thing, but we can create jobs. There is a lot of jobs we can create. We have to forget these people, vendors. We have to look at high productivity jobs. When you see Comrade Jaffa driving, when you see the way the camera is shown, these are Japanese. They have created a job. They are developing their country. Something that I like by Japan is one thing, one number. Japanese from Nagasaki, they said they will never involve themselves into war. Who is the best seller of vehicles? Who is the best seller of automotives? Who is the best? They concentrated. So this is where we are going as a national unity platform, that we are going to create jobs. We are going to fight poverty, disease, and ignorance, so that money, instead of buying weapons, we can revert them to create a good economic environment. As simple as that. That is what we want. Go to Switzerland. Switzerland, they don't have army. They have the police. Everybody takes their money there. Everybody wants to live in Switzerland. But who wants to live in Uganda? So we need to look at NUP promises to create 5 million jobs. Our principal was on CBS with the other gentleman, and he said he's going to create jobs and attract all Ugandans from diaspora to come back. He's not going to create them to just attract. We want somebody who works in diaspora. If you are earning £2,000, that we are going to create a job that you will earn 2,000, 2,100, or more than that, or a little bit. You will be persuaded to come back home, because home is the best. Everyone wants to be home. Weather is good, friendly. That's what you know. Who doesn't want to work for Uganda? If you can imagine, we have 2 people that, one I know very close, one I don't know that much. We have Mr. Ross. He's for NUP. He lives in America. He assembles Boeing. Why can't we get this gentleman to come in Uganda? He wants change. He wants to do it for Uganda. Then in the UK, there is somebody who has been constructing all these roads in the UK for the last 25 years. He's young. He wants change. I don't know if he can see this video. Every time he will ring me and say, my sister, you to stand there and say, I'm so proud of you. Why can't I speak to him and say, let's go to Uganda and construct the roads? As long as his payment will be done. When I was on holiday, when I went to Morocco mountain, somebody said to me that now I live in Kenya. I came in Uganda, constructed the roads, they never paid for me. So we need to look at how we are going to create jobs. We need to look at decent jobs. We need to create environment for everybody to work. And we want people to become independent. We want people to stop being parasites. We want to create a culture of working. Because now people, they'll be begging all the time, asking for money, or this number, send me this money, this money. The only way we are going to put Uganda on the track is to look at these social issues. How do we tackle them? How are we going to bring rule of law? There will never be rule of law if you've got the highest unemployment, because people, they will oppose you. That's why sociology comes in with the socialites. I'm not a socialite. I'm conservative and liberal anyway. But employment comes at the far end. I'll be going into details into this. I'll go back to my topics. There are about 9 topics that I'll be like going into detail one by one, because I can't go in far for this time. But when we talk about employment, I want to remember you, it is directly linked to democracy. This is why they don't want to create jobs. This is why when we had Ugandans suffering in China, racism, Museveni said, baleke babeereyo. But people, they are being exported. People, they are doing as sex workers. Isn't that painful? And for me, it pains me when people who remain in Uganda, they cannot demonstrate, they cannot even say anything. People, our Ugandans, they are being killed, they are being brought back when they are dead. Families, they don't complain, they accept that. It shouldn't be acceptable. Ugandans to die abroad, because now when we see so many, or we hear audios, we see many videos of Ugandans being abused who are working in the United Arab Emirates. About 3 years ago, I managed to be in Qatar, and what I saw, I couldn't believe it. Qatar airport is all Ugandans working there. Qatar airport, so if people in Uganda, they can work on Qatar airport, which is going to host a World Cup, you don't think they can work in Uganda? The problem, you don't pay people well. The problem, you don't pay people on time. The problem, you don't want development. The problem, corruption. Problem is nepotism. Problem is lack of payment structure. The problem goes on and on and on. But our Ugandans, they're being exported for slavery. It shouldn't be that way. Our Ugandans are being taken for a ride. It shouldn't be that way. There are some videos I want to play for you, because this gentleman, I don't know why he's saying this, that he doesn't know what minimal decent job, but he's the director of finance in Uganda. I've got like 2 videos.
For years, your budget has been speaking to growth with jobs. And so we're not so sure if you're speaking to what Moses says. So you're saying growth is jobs, but it's not decent jobs, but it's jobs in any way. And for you, that's the measure, as Dr. Kadeja was saying, and Alana, is that it doesn't matter what the quality is, it's the number. And that speaks to, at the end of the day, we'll speak to the data that you want. But that's not the data that actually Ugandans are asking for.
That was Morris Mugisha. This is the agenda.
We've talked about jobs. Of course, there are 2 things, and I agree with you that we need decent jobs. And we are really trying to
to see how we can ensure that we have decent jobs in this country. One of the things is that you have a lot of people who are coming out, who are about 800,000 people who get into the job market, and you look at their skills, a lot of them have not been skilled. So if you want a decent job for these people, if you call it decent, I don't know. How would you get them decent job? How would you
Gentleman was panicking. He said he doesn't know what a decent job is. So we are here to tell him a decent job is a job that somebody will have working in a normal environment, good environment with the employment rights, employment law being implemented, but that income should be able to sustain their cost of living, and they should be able to do the savings. So decent job goes higher and higher. For them, what they know, Mohoz is the land, Natasha is having this. So we are going to look into so many things. But another point that we have about employment in Uganda is mismatch. People, they are educated, but they don't work in those perspectives. You find that people is a doctor, is doing as a security in an Arab country, is doing a lower job, and they are not being paid. It's so difficult for you to lower yourself, your pride that you were this and then you are doing a lower job. That's where arguments start from. So we are going to push ahead as National Unity Platform that we want employment to be one of the issues to be addressed, because it is a public health issue. And we want employment that everybody gets employed. We want to reduce that bad negative impact on the society, on individuals. People, they end up doing, like, I hear people, they say, oh, these people, they don't have anything to do. This is why they want change. So you got the answer. They don't have anything to do. That is why they want change. And then we've got so many people, we pay for school fees to go in school, to work. When they come out, there is no job for what they have studied. So it's like you sell your goats, you sell your land, your children to get into education. When they come out, there is no job. So it is lost, the family is bankrupt, the graduate is bankrupt. What will happen? People, they are being exploited. Here in Uganda now, there is sexy exploitation, like same-sex exploitation, which is not very good. So employment, we have our Ugandans exported as laborer, as slavery. It shouldn't be that way. We can bring these people back, but we have to create jobs. When you look at jobs, there are so many jobs. Let us look at transport. Let us create these railways. Let us have 4 going to Masaka, south, west, east, and those people, they have got jobs. They know they are there. They are for shift. They come on, they go. We create a 24 working environment. We can create jobs, let me tell you, lots of jobs. But if we sit down and we sit like NRM that it's not possible, no, we are failing. We should challenge them. And we should ask them to create jobs, because that is what they are. They are not in government to be comfortable. They are not in government to earn money. When you see they are earning lots of money. And another problem is the public sector is meant to create jobs, monitor jobs, and look at the jobs. What other jobs are there good? But when you look at NRM manifesto, they say secure future, and their employment is like people, they are going to put them into tailoring. And for what? We want a higher productivity job. We need to lift ourselves through employment. We need to develop Uganda through having sensible jobs. We cannot develop if people, they are being vendors, if they are into low productivity job. They are working in the market. It's like women, we were born to work in markets. So we shouldn't be that way. So we have to look into employment. And I'll come back with going into details, but I'm still running some of the problems, some of the key issues in the political arena that I think that myself I'm going to talk about. So I think tomorrow I have one of the hottest topic that I have on my heart. It's going to be women and child welfare. I want to concentrate on teenager pregnancy. Alina omutima ogure, don't watch tomorrow because I'm gonna speak it out. How do these children get pregnant? And who gets them pregnant? Where are their morals and values? Who gets them pregnant? We have this high number, the highest teenager pregnancy as it stands for now. But who gets them pregnant? It's bad. It's very bad. Employment, public health issue. Employment directly linked to democracy, to economic growth. Employment is a right for everybody to work. Employment should be job creation in Uganda. Employment, Uganda shouldn't be exported for slavery or organs. Employment should not be nepotism. Employment should be social inclusion, not exclusion. Employment has got an impact, individual, families, society, and economic growth. Employment is directly linked. This is why this government is not creating jobs, because they know once people, they are working very hard, because all they want is to see people like Baby Cool kneeling from 7. We can see when in 7, now they are in Chianquans. They'll be kneeling down. You never find somebody who works, who is employed, who is gonna kneel down. How many people you see kneeling down from 7? It can't be. So we need to separate politics and what? We need to separate politics and the governance. So it's not like when they are president, everything is in their way. No, it can't be. So employment is there, and we can do what. I appreciate people who are working under difficult circumstances. I appreciate that people who are taken away to get out of Uganda is the way you can survive. That is it. But NUP is planning to bring you back. NUP is planning to create jobs, because people in diaspora, they have got lots of knowledge, they have got lots of skills. Why should we miss on that?
Get them
So-
decent jobs. Okay? So what we are looking at and saying, okay, some people, of course, can work at jobs that are not very well paying.
Hello,
But as
Mkevi,
long as their human
Amisi,
rights are recognized,
Shelly, Brown,
um,
Farida,
they have right to a holiday, they have, to leave.
Musoke,
Working hours are okay, working conditions are good.
Jaffa, Christine Uganda, Amba, Afende Nakayua, Madina Lubeka, Berina Fula,
It's the marketing
Grace
conditions that
Namato,
determine that.
Kizi, Nicholas, Kankaka Jogran, Dawn, Fatima,
Working conditions, how we are paid.
like using cash. Give me some money. Bonjour, Matine.
Also reflecting the profitability.
Musenero yaduse with 31 billion.
Also, when you talk about budgeting,
Ronald is
something that we
Sejeune, Nakano Justin, Mwinambala Vivanange. Mwebale nyo mwebale dala. Have a good day. I'll be back with my topic tomorrow. I don't know what time, maybe afternoon, because I have another work. So I appreciate. Thanks for watching me. Thanks for your comment. Thanks for your time. I value your time. I value your comments. And I thank you so much. Thanks everybody who has shared this. Thank you all the platform who have hosted me. We are here for Uganda and not for ourselves. We shall stand for Uganda. We shall speak up for Uganda. And creating jobs is one way to speak out. Salute. People power, our power. NUP everywhere. NUP.